This is Tom Chesser, your host on Business Innovators Radio and Business Innovators Show. And we're here today with my very special guest. And I'm here today with JB Owen. JB is a fearless female leader and highly successful entrepreneur, having built businesses that span the globe. JB truly focuses on helping others. And JB, I'm welcoming you to the show, and there's been so much that's been said about you. It's amazing. And we are here today to talk about the different aspects of your life and basically what's happening and what's going to be happening in the future. And so welcome to the show.
Tom, thanks for having me. Such a pleasure to be here. And I'm excited to connect with all of your guests.
Well, I wanted to read a little bit about you, what they've been saying about you, okay? And here's what they've been saying about you, and I found it really interesting. She is a driven, empowerment individual in her own journeys to success. Now, you've had so many great journeys in life, and you've done so much. And the Ignite publishing and everything else. Can you give us some background about what you've been doing and tell us your story a little bit?
Well, thanks, Tom, for asking. I've been very privileged to be publishing stories for the last few years from phenomenal authors telling their Ignite moment. And it really came to me from my own experience of having what I call Ignite moments, those powerful moments that sort of smack you upside the head and wake you up, kind of set you on a new trajectory and really open up your eyes to this new awakening of who you can become, what's best for you. Often Ignite moments can be super challenging, but the truth is there's always that silver lining. And so it was just inspiring for me to share those stories of other people, myself included, having Ignite moments with the idea that they could help others.
That's amazing because you have been doing a lot of that. You published so many great books and you got still more to come. So it's amazing what you've been doing. And recently, I mean, it's kind of, you're now being called one of the top female transformational leaders on the planet. How does it feel being recognized as a transformational leader? And not just a transformational leader, they're saying you're a global transformational leader. How does it feel to have that distinction?
Well, I'm humbled by it, actually. It's very, very honoring to have that be said. And I take a great pride and at the same time, great responsibility. I obviously now realizing this title, I got to work harder, do more, improve, reach out, connect, and make sure I live up to it, because in all honesty, my passion, my desire, my mission is to ignite as many people as possible. In fact, I have a big dream, 7 billion Ignite moments shared. Why shouldn't we all be sharing our Ignite moments? Can you imagine the world if each and every one of us could connect through our authentic moments? So much is going on in the meta universe, the alternate universe, and I'm really dedicated to how do we create that authentic universe where people can connect with each other through that true part of themselves, their Ignite moment that really define them.
Absolutely. And that's, I got another question that somebody asked me the other day. What is the storytelling and what you're doing in telling other people's story? Why is that so important to you?
I think that so many of us hide behind our stories. We all have skeletons in the closet. There are things that have happened in our life that we don't want anyone to know about. And in many ways, it keeps us down. It holds us back. A lot of times there's a story around what a parent told us or a teacher or a coach, and we carry that with us. Or there's something we saw in a magazine or some social stigma that was put upon us. And it truly is just a story. But that story possesses us in a way that we feel like we can't do something or we shouldn't do something. We can't follow our dreams or go after our aspirations. And so when we tell sometimes our dark story, when we reveal to the universe, this is who I am, this is what has happened to me, this is where I've come from, but because of it, I'm a greater person, I'm a stronger person, I see things differently in the world, and I want to make a difference. Those stories they matter. They're important. We all want to be seen, heard, and belong. And so when you tell your story and you're recognized for it, and at the same time help someone else, it truly is transformational, and it brings people together on a whole different level.
And that is basically your whole theory in your publishing company and everything. So that really sets you apart from a lot of publishers out there. And everybody wants to come to Ignite because you ignite. So tell me the uniqueness and the difference of your publishing company that really makes people want to come.
Yeah. In 2003, I self-published my own first book called Letters from My Mother. It was a journey in bringing back my relationship with my mom as an adult daughter. I am your child, but I'm no longer a child. And so through self-publishing, I went through the hard knocks. I realized how difficult it is. And at the same time, how the writer can feel really at the bottom of the barrel through all the marketing, the publishing, the production. I wanted to be different for authors. And so when I published my next book, Enjoying Parenting, I decided like, this is a great opportunity for me to make it different. And so we walk authors through this fabulous experience of writing their story, understanding their Ignite moment, uncovering that moment, seeing it from a new 360-degree viewpoint so they can assign a new meaning to it. So the writers don't just write words on a page and put pages in a book. They actually transform, they heal, they share in a way that they don't do in traditional publishing. And then, of course, my thing about being a business owner, entrepreneur, and the pink billionaire is I want people to know how to do business. How do they monetize from their book? How do they build a platform? How do they get on podcasts and summits and create an entire legacy by telling their unique story?
Absolutely. And your publishing and what you're doing actually has been featured in Forbes magazine, and what they recently labeled you as a heart-centered publisher. And how did it feel like, heart-centered publisher? What did that feel like when Forbes, just highlighted you?
Wow. I mean, what an honor. I was a bit nervous about the article because I thought it would be really tactile and functional and practical and business orientated. And when they took the time to call me a heart-centered publisher, it was so liberating and empowering because I want to be known as a heart-centered publisher. I want to be known as a heart-centered business owner, conscious business in mind. And I think that the way we're moving forward in humanity is that collaboration is the new currency. We have to connect. We have to collaborate. We have to come from a place of heart-centeredness. The world has changed so much. We can't be pushing and shoving and elbowing people to get to the top. We need to do it together. And I'm honored to be called a heart-centered publisher because I want to do business with heart-centered individuals.
Absolutely. And you're truly doing that and transforming the world doing that. One of the things, this is Women's National Month, and we're focusing on women. And you actually appeared in Business Innovators magazine as one of the top 9 women out there transforming lives and helping women. How does what you do and the purpose of this whole month, and you've been doing so much, how does that really do the women and helping them grow their business and their story?
Yeah, obviously it really resonates with me. I've been an entrepreneur for most of my life. I started my first little business when I was 9. I've always been enjoying entrepreneurship. And so what I realized is for a long time, women in business were sort of, the odd person out. They were trying to form their way in business, but trying to be like a man. And for a long time, I tried to fit into that paradigm until I really decided being fierce and fabulous and feminine is our power. It is our superhero. And so showcasing women who are stepping into business, being fabulous and feminine is so incredible. And it gives me great pleasure to empower other women to do their business, their dream, their aspirations, whatever that is, through their own feminine wherewithal, the guys that they had within them to be feminine and powerful. And so this month, like every month of the year, honoring women and moms and sisters and daughters, it's so incredible that we as women can come together, respect and value each other, because we are all really, with our nurturing hearts, we want the world to be a better place.
Yeah, you're relaunching a book about women. Can you give us a little bit of idea? I put that on the screen and on my show today, but really talk to us about that Ignite moment for women and how that you're doing in relaunching this book.
Yeah, it was really special for us to go back to the beginning of the origins of Ignite for our very first book, Ignite Your Life for Women. We went back to the authors. We put some new content in the book. We changed the size. We updated the cover. We added some resources, and we went back to see where the women had come from since they first did this book. And we saw women who were doing TED Talks, starting businesses, opening up retreat centers, moving to Costa Rica. All kinds of incredible things were happening since they use Ignite as a launch launchpad into their business, into their brand, and ultimately into living the life that they wanted. It was a great, great success for us to relaunch this book. And it's just an honor to go back and look at the people who said yes to Ignite at the very beginning, those brave women who said yes to our program and yes to what we were doing, and just really showcase them once again. And that's what Ignite is all about. We want to showcase our authors. 700 authors have come through our platform in the last 3 years. We've done over 19 international best-selling books in over 13 countries, 197 categories on Amazon. And the truth is, we're just thrilled that these folks, these authors, these brave individuals get showcased and get seen for the magnificence that they are.
Absolutely. And that's great. It's amazing to start it out and now to relaunch it. And now you have so many success stories about these women. That's got to be remarkable, not only for them, but for you, because to see your work transpire and grow and ignite. And and that's the fun about that. We would use the word ignite moment. And that's exactly what you're creating. Talk to us about what that really means for you, and why the word ignite. And
I feel like I have an Ignite moment every day. I mean, really, in all honesty, we call mini Ignite. So many precious things happen each day. And sometimes we just gloss over them and we forget them and we let them go by. My daughter will take a moment to give me a hug, or my son will send me a text, or my husband will leave a little flower on my morning tray with my teacup. Those are things that are precious. Those are Ignite moments when you can feel the love from your family. At the same time, we're so lucky that we have the opportunities that we do in the world, and we can connect with people on a different level. And so I feel like I have the best job in the world. I feel like I'm so blessed and privileged every single day to connect with my authors. And more importantly, I've stepped into a role in my life right now where it's all about legacy. I'm just really connecting to my authors so that they can build a legacy. We have a new book coming out called Ignite Legacy. It's all about really helping those people who need it most. And this year we are building a school in Cambodia called the Ignite Possibility School of Hope, helping with literacy. As a publishing house, literacy matters to us. And there are kids there, I can see it already, who will absolutely appreciate the opportunity to learn in a school. And they're going to be able to go out and ignite the lives of their families and their community, their country, and possibly the world. And so that matters to me. And so I feel like there's Ignite moments happening all over the world.
Yeah, and you just said it. Unite humanity, and that's what you're doing right now. And how do you feel like that? The schools and everything else you've been doing. I've been following you on that. How do you feel that is in igniting humanity? Because we got to be kind to mankind, right? And humanity really does matter. And the thing I love about you so much is you're always giving back. You're always paying it forward. You're always investing in other people for mankind. And I think that's an amazing thing, but that seems to be your motivation. That seems what drives you every day. So talk to me a little bit more about that experience.
It's true. I mean, we obviously, as an individual on this planet, I care about the mankind. And with the pandemic over the last 2 years, mankind, humanity is so important. We have to be thinking about our future. I have 4 kids. What is the world going to look like for them? What is our generational wealth and transformational experience going to be for my grandkids? And so Ignite Humanity for me is really, how do we stop looking at what's not working and looking at what's possible? I'm always talking about possibilities. That's my jam. How do we ignite possibilities? How do we ignite legacy? How do we ignite humanity? And this summer, actually, we're going to be filming a documentary, Tom. We're going to be talking about people who are igniting humanity. There's so many individuals who have projects, courses, training in businesses that are actually focused on igniting humanity. We're going to take our bike. We're going to cycle across Canada. My husband and I are big cyclers. We have a tandem bike. We're going to cycle across Canada, and we're going to stop along the way, meeting people who are igniting humanity. We're going to film them and put them into this fabulous documentary and docu-series to show people how you can start doing what you love that ignites humanity and makes a difference.
I watched the video of you and Peter making that journey on the bikes. Mm-hmm. It was so impressive, and stopping along the way and just covering that whole journey. To see now picking up the bike again, right? And doing this and going back and now sitting down and talking to people and getting Ignite moments for the people that you come in contact every day that you're on this journey. That's remarkable. That's a commitment. I don't know that I could go ride a bike what, hundreds of thousands, I don't know, 400
Well,
miles.
we're doing, yeah. So I'll tell you though, that process started in 2020 during the first summer of the pandemic. Everybody was staying home. They didn't know what they could do. We were all in fear and worry and didn't know what was possible. And I got so angry. I'm like, you know what? We need to think about what is possible, not what isn't possible. What is possible? We need to be concentrated on what's possible. Our minds, our children, everyone, we need to be thinking about what's possible. And so I just turned 50. I was 16 pounds overweight from the pandemic. And we had a tandem bike getting cobwebs in the garage. And I said to Peter, let's get up off the couch and cycle across Canada to show people that you can have an idea and you can pick up and go after it immediately and show people what's possible. We cycled across the country and we met people, and it was so powerful. The people that helped us and gave us food and went fishing and offered us a fish and showed us the right way and got us out of when we were stuck. It was incredible, the humanity in the individuals that just showed up along our bike ride. Last year, we cycled to the top of the world in the Yukon, which was so powerful, 6,500 kilometers through the mountains with the bears and the buffalo and all the wildlife, but at the same time met people who were phenomenal. And so this year, folks, we're going to be cycling 10,000 K from coast to coast, Vancouver to Newfoundland. We even have an app, Tom, that we have produced so people can join us along the way. They can follow us, they can track us, they can track their cycling, walking, running, or swimming. We have medals and prizes and all kinds of stuff because we want to ignite possibilities and ignite humanity in everyone.
And I love that. Ignite possibilities. That's what this is really all about. Making all things possible, right? If you just get out here and have an igniting moment, so it's amazing what you're doing. And I know there's a lot of other things you're involved with. I know that. What else? What are some other projects that you're working on right now?
Well, I want to share that Michael Gerber, the author and absolute, granddaddy of entrepreneurship, is one of my mentors. And just last week, he was talking to me like, how are you going to transform humanity? Like, he is so emphatic. And I said, I'm going to do it through making things possible, igniting people with what's possible. And so every single day we work towards igniting you with what's possible. I have a virtual mentor program where every day I will text you a possibility drop, I call it, and inspire you. You can go to mentorwithjb.com and I will just give that to your listeners, Tom, because I want everybody to know that possibilities can happen each and every day. And so I text you on the phone something to inspire you of what's possible. But, we have new books coming out. I've got another one. We are doing a new success series called Keys to Crushing It with the amazing Ryan Serhant out of New York from Millionaire Listings. So we are igniting lives through real estate agents because, hey, more than ever, our home has been our sanctuary and our space, and real estate agents are a part of helping people make that big decision to buy the home. And so we are working with Ryan and Bryce McKinley and lots of other superstar top 50 real estate agents in America to do a fabulous book about ignite moments around the real estate industry. We've got Ignite Forgiveness coming up. If people have got ignite moments around forgiveness, we're doing a virtue series called Ignite Faith and Ignite Courage. Those books will come out at the later year of 2022 and 2023. And next month, we'll be launching our latest book, Ignite Your Wisdom. It just keeps going and going.
Exactly. Yeah. And you're unstoppable in your pursuit to do this. And that's what your passion and your desire is. It's looking back on your life. Can you give me a couple of ignite moments for yourself?
What a great question. Well, I remember when my son was born. He's 17 now, but I do remember the nurse putting him into my arms, and I remember him looking at me with his big eyes, and the first thing I thought was, this is going to be my greatest teacher. And I was so fascinated by that feeling because I didn't know that a child would grow up to be, and over the years, teach me the most incredible things about love, compassion, understanding. He is truly, truly a compassionate individual. Of course, now I have another child, my daughter, courageous and creative. And so I have to say, another interviewer asked me, what do you aspire for to be your greatest moment, or what do you hope for? And I said, I want to be at both my kids' 50th birthday party. I now have two amazing stepkids. I want to be at their 50th birthday parties. So I would say that, as a child, I grew up where I didn't feel like I was seen and heard and validated. I grew up feeling like I was strange and awkward and didn't fit in. I had big ideas to be in fashion and movies and modeling and loved art. But I grew up in a small town where I was very much chastised and ridiculed for being different. So I moved to a big town right out of graduation. 10 days after I graduated from high school, I decided that I wanted to do something different. I wanted to follow a dream. And everyone told me it wasn't possible. My dad used to say this horrible thing to me: give your head a shake. That's ridiculous. And I grew up with that thinking in my mind that it's not ridiculous. You give your head a shake. I'm going to go do this. And just systematically, day after day, if I can move the needle a little bit towards my dream, I'm on the right side. I'm doing it. I'm going after my goal. And that's what keeps me going.
Give your head a shake. Did you hear
Yes.
that? Give your head a shake. You know what I thought about immediately? Those snow globes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The snow settles. Well, you shake
Yes.
it back up again just to see the
Yes.
snow fall. You know the snow's
Exactly.
going to come back down. You just don't know how it's going to come down and where it's going to come down, but you can still see it inside the globe. So, I mean, you are impacting the globe and you are shaking it up. I mean, it's unbelievable how much you're shaking. I have never heard that phrase before. That phrase is amazing. So that was really a
It's
good one for me.
well, here's the thing that's fascinating is when I first heard it, I was about 7, and I remember cartoons. I was so into cartoons, obviously at 7, and give your head a shake, Mickey Mouse would shake his head and like a tuba would come out of his ear or a sofa or something like that. And so the first time he said it to me, I actually kind of thought it was funny because I thought about like what I saw in cartoons. Later in life, I actually became, quite determined to like counteract this comment. But what's fascinating is I have an older sister and she got the exact same languaging. And unfortunately, there are a lot of things I would say that have held her back because of that. And so it's very fascinating how our environment and the things that we learn predetermine our story of what it is we need to do and how we need to live our lives. When I was 12, my dad, he didn't like how fashionable I was and how much I loved to like emulate punk rockers and wear my hair in a mohawk. He told me one time to put a bag on my head if I wanted to go out in public with him. And I remember at 12, it just crushed me. Like it really, really broke me in so many ways that my father would feel that way about me. It wasn't until later that I had an ignite moment where I realized like that's his story. Those were his insecurities. Those were his worries, not mine. And so I threw that bag off my head in my 40s and was like, I don't need to live with a bag on my head. I need to step forward because when I get to shine my light, it gives other people the ability to shine theirs.
Take the bag off your head. That was
Thank
pretty
you.
cool.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And it is their story, but it's not your story. And I love the way that you're inspiring people to tell their story. You're igniting that moment in their life. And a lot of the authors that I've followed and a lot of the authors that I read about in your book, and books that I've been reading, because you wrote so many of them. I mean, just keep reminding me how many that is. 17, 18. We're going 19, 19. And we're not stopping. I got another one somebody else wants to do with you too.
Absolutely. We don't stop.
No stopping, no stopping. But, and I agree with you with people shaking it up. You know what I mean? A lot of times when they're shaking up their head, they just keep shaking it up until they're so confused they can't really settle, right? But I love the idea that you can find an ignite moment in that time in life where you can settle and say, hey, this has been amazing. You know what I mean? And I think that's what's wrong with our world today is it's been shake up so much that nobody knows where they're at or where they're going or what they're doing. But you have been so inspiring. And that's why they call you the pink billionaire. Uh, Tell me more about that because that's amazing. I love it when people call you the pink billionaire.
Well, that came to me a couple of years ago because so many of us aspire to be a billionaire. It's something we just rolls off our tongue. We're like, I want to be a billionaire. I want to be. And so I really sat and thought about that for a long time. There's a consciousness, and I call it the billionaire consciousness. And I'm going to write a book about it one day. But you have to have a certain consciousness to be a billionaire. It's not just about money in the bank. And there has to be an awareness beyond the dollars on the bottom of a bank account. And so I felt like, people can make a billion-person impact. You have to be thinking longevity. You have to be thinking beyond yourself. You have to be thinking global and generations to come when you step into billionaire wealth. At the same time, people can make a billion-person impact. You can have a billion smiles. You can have a billion touch points. You can touch a billion people with the smallest thing. And so I felt like billionaire should not be just for people who have reached a dollar amount. Billionaire should be for people who are thinking about a billion-person impact. And of course, as a woman, I love pink. Pink's my favorite color. And I wanted women to know, again, that women can step into this role. Women can have this kind of global impact in so many ways. So let's make it feminine. Let's make it enjoyable. Let's just let the women step up. And so that's how the Pink Billionaire was born. Now, I will say this, during the pandemic, somebody criticized me about that and said, so many people are suffering. You shouldn't be calling yourself that. And I decided to park it for a little bit, only to realize that the Pink Billionaire actually makes me work harder. When I show up as the Pink Billionaire, I try harder, I do more, I reach further, I make an effort. And so it's my way of even pushing myself. And so lovingly, I share the Pink Billionaire with everyone because I want them to know that they can do it too.
Well, you're the Pink Billionaire because, think of all these authors that you have actually had an ignite moment with. That's the investment that you made in other people's lives. So you've got billions and billions and billions and billions. I'm not surprised it's going to be a trillion. I wouldn't be offended at all if you called yourself the Pink Trillionaire, because, it's how you're igniting lives and transforming lives. And it's that what I call relationship equity, and putting into others to make them want to be lifted up and lifting them up. And you're creating the story, but you're creating their story to let them shine and tell their real story. So,
yeah, it's such a ripple effect, right? Like I help an author tell their story. They tell their story, which someone else reads their story. That person is inspired. They go inspire their kids or their family or their team or their employees. They go inspire someone else. And so it just keeps rippling and rippling. And we know hundreds of thousands of people have read our book around the globe. The fabulous things are our books is because these are ignite moments that transcend all things. Doesn't matter what color your skin is, what gender you are, what age you are, tenacity, perseverance, dedication, that speaks to the heart of individuals, no matter where you live. And I think that's what makes Ignite Moments so powerful. And that's what's going to make our new project, Ignitopedia. We are creating a platform for everybody to come and share their Ignite Moments completely free to the planet. We want you to share your Ignite moment. For example, me, white girl living in Canada, plays golf, loves to cycle. Here's my Ignite moment. Imagine if other people could come into that database and type in the same thing and find all these stories of people around the globe who can relate to them on this authentic universe, create friendships and camaraderie because they have similar ideas and similar values and similar Ignite moments. That to me is going to be my legacy.
It is. And you don't have to die to have a legacy. You can live a legacy.
Yes,
and
yes.
You can transfer it on to your children and then to your great grandchildren. Where, you're looking at, that's where I thought, wow, I was just thinking about, I have a 12-year-old grandson. I'm thinking, okay, I got to wait till he graduates. No, I want to be married. Yeah. I want to be around that long.
Right. And
because
now
I want to share their Ignite moments, because you're creating those moments in time in which people can reflect upon something you meant to them. And that's something that children today are always asking. Daddy, a dad was on his deathbed one day and a child walked in. The dad said, what can I leave you, my son? And he says, Daddy, you've left me so much already, because you were there in my baseball game. You were there in my school play. You were there, because that's what they remember, right? And that's what you created inside of them and with them. It's going to live forever. So the possibilities are endless. And I want to ask you a question. I know you're out here working with humanity, and the funny part, you just did a book, Ignite Your Hunger, right? With Les Brown. And Les Brown always said, are you hungry? And you inspired Les because of building the schools in Cambodia, right? And your goal to build. Now, it's not just building schools in Cambodia. Now you're wanting to build them around the world, but you're not wanting to build just school. It's crazy how this thing has grown. And my question I want to ask you on that deal is, how can we help? How can we jump in here and get involved with JB Owen and say, JB, we got you, because we're here to help you and to help you ignite lives, because maybe we can't live, but we can live through you, right? So what can people do? What can people do to support you? What can people do to get this thing a global scale? I know we talked about sponsors or whatever. Talk to me a little bit more about how we can help.
Well, my heart goes out to you. Thank you, because we do have a project called Ignite Legacy, which is all about legacy leaders and building legacy. Our goal is to build 36 schools, and we are looking for individuals who want to be a part of that project. You can go to igniteu.life and look on our project Ignite Legacy. We are also building 100 homes of hope in conjunction. Now, this is a great opportunity, Tom, because we have partnered with Classroom of Hope, who has partnered with a company in Finland who makes these powerful, amazing bricks out of recycled plastic that they pull out of the landfills. They partnered with Lego and IKEA to create these earthquake-proof bricks. And so we are committed to building 100 homes and 36 schools through the Ignite Legacy program and the Keys to Crushing It Success program. And so anyone who has an Ignite moment, who has a story, who wants to be a part of something, we definitely would love for you to be in one of our books. And you can always go to classroomofhope.org/Ignite Moments, and you can just directly donate. Every dollar buys a brick. And so your name will be on a brick that's a part of the school and a part of the classrooms.
So I can have more than one brick? Can I build a house?
Yes, you can have as many bricks as you like.
Can I build what I want? I'm igniting the possibilities and, and creating something. There's a word that's been used, and it's so funny, I am is the two greatest words out there. But have you ever heard of the word abracadabra?
Yes.
Abracadabra. Do you know what abracadabra means?
Like to make something appear out of nothing?
Yes. And you know why it's in the definition of abracadabra was I am because I said I am. Wake up, abracadabra. So when you're igniting those moments and you're doing, I just really want you guys to say abracadabra. I did it, abracadabra. I did another one, because you create that, right? Because you spoke it, and because you spoke it into existence. Amazing that's actually the definition for abracadabra. I wonder what the definition for open sesame is.
Well, I want to thank you because you allow me to say it. You allow me to share it. You have been such a gracious, wonderful, incredible individual in my life. I'm so honored to know you and to spend time with you. And I just want to thank you because you abracadabra all the time and just make things happen.
Well, you're getting a lot of notoriety out here. I mean, millions and millions of eyeballs are sitting on you, being featured in Business Innovators magazine several times, and there's a lot of good stuff. The Forbes magazine article that really said a lot of good stuff about you, what Forbes magazine said. And there's more to come because you are creating this. And as you're creating this, we want you to get recognized for it because and that's something else I want to bring up, because now this transformational leader, I mean, that's being recognized as that on a global scale, right? That's amazing accomplishment, and to be viewed that way is something that can be said, because we can be calling ourselves all kinds of, we call ourselves anything we want to call. I'm a writer, right? I'm a father, I'm all this, but to transform lives and be that leader is an amazing compliment.
I really feel honored. I feel honored. See, there are inspirational leaders, there are motivational leaders, and there are transformational leaders, and all of them are valuable and important. But I feel like at Ignite and through business and working with me, I really devote myself to transforming the individual, transforming them through, they believed one thing to believing something else. They had one idea about themselves and suddenly they have a new idea about what's possible for them. And that is so important when it comes to transformation. We can take in a lot of data, we can read a lot of books, we can attend a lot of courses. The truth is you've got to do it. You've got to be it to become it. That's one of JB's quotes. You got to be it to become it. To become the pink billionaire, I had to start being the pink billionaire, just like Madonna had to get started and Ice-T had to get started and popcorn and all those other people. You have to be it to become it. You have to start doing it. And when you start doing it, the universe opens its doors to make access for you to have exactly what it is you want. You just have to decide that today's the day you're going to start going after it.
I am so excited for you. You have really stepped into your authority. You have really just opened up the doors of possibilities. You have really, you swung them wide open. You don't just open it up a little bit to give me a peek. You open it up like, hey, here I am. Look at me now. and just being around you is so much fun. Talking to you is an amazing opportunity. And then reading your stories and reading the books. And I mean, it's just the list goes on and on and on. So I really want to say thank you very, very much for being a part of the show today, coming on here and being authentic, because you are JB Owen and you are the Pink Billionaire and you are Ignite. So, I love all the essence of what you've created and helping people also to create. It's one thing to create it for ourselves, but it's an amazing opportunity. So as you get on that bicycle and you have that app, and I'm watching you and I'm going with you, on the app.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you, it's going to be on the app. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make every step of the way. I'll pedal. I'll encourage you, man. Hey, JB, come on. You can get up this mountain. You can get over this hill. Come on. You got one more. And that's what you live for, is one more.
I love
I've
it.
seen that in your life. You live for one more moment, one more Ignite moment, one more time that I can create an Ignite moment. So I'm going to close the show, and I'm going to ask you a question, because I really love creating an Ignite moment. How do you feel? What are the ways in our lives that you think we really can create Ignite moments?
Purpose, passion, and plan. You got to have a purpose. You got to know what it is you want. It's got to be yours. It's nobody else's. Nobody can tell you what your purpose is. You got to dig deep and find it. If you don't know what it is, get excited about discovering it. Try different things. Go out and do different things and understand what your purpose is. You were given a gift and a treasure and a talent. Go and live that purpose. Step into your passion. We all have to do things, but every single day you should wake up and say, what's going to make me happy today, and do that. Not just only do that, but do that. Make time to do the things that make you happy. Find the things that you're passionate about and follow that route, and then get a plan. Have a plan every single day. Have a little increment, 1 degree. If you do something 1 degree more each and every day, 30 days, you're going to be 30 degrees closer. 90 days, you're going to be 90 degrees closer. So each and every day, have a plan. We walk our authors through a plan, a strategy, strategic increments to get to the success line. You need to have that for you too. So get a plan, step into your passion, go after your purpose, and you will succeed.
Okay. Before we close the show, though, you know what I mean? You got to tell us how to get in touch with you, how we can do to get, we already talked about getting involved with you. So give us, there's a whole long list of, you're so easy to find, but tell us a little bit more how to reach out to you and Ignite Publishing and all the stuff that you're doing.
Well, if you want to write an Ignite book, we so encourage it. You can go to igniteyou.life, igniteyou.life. You can find us there. Just Google Ignite Possibilities. We're there. Ignite Humanity. We're there. Just Google Ignite. You'll find us. But of course, I am thepinkbillionaire.com. You can get to me on my website. I'm the only JB Owen on Facebook. So of course, you can always reach out to me there. I'm super accessible, Tom. It's very important to me that I make myself available for my authors and for my clients. I want to ignite their lives. That's my purpose. And so if you reach out to me, however that is, we're going to help you. We're going to show you. We do a lot of solo books for authors who step from doing their chapter books into doing their solo books. And so I love helping people ignite their life, ignite their brand, go out and ignite humanity. That really is the way to find us. It's simple. Just go on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn, and you'll find me.
Just Google.
Yeah.
Just Google. Because recently you're recognized by Google in over 300 or 600 major media networks. So your story is global, and it's gaining more and more recognition for who you are and what you're doing. The thing that I love so much when I talk to your authors, when I talk to them, it's just not putting out a book. It's just not putting out a book. You have done so much for authors. It's amazing. It is really, really touching. I was in a meeting yesterday that basically they were wanting to do a thing called Elevate Your Life. And I told them, I said, that's okay. I got the publisher for you that we can do it. I said, I got it. I'm gonna send them to you. Okay. Elevate Your Life. I was thinking that the cover of this book would be really cool because you can have an elevator and you can be touching the button, right?
Yes.
And you can stand at the elevator and touch the top button. Have you ever been in an elevator where the kid steps in the door and hits every button?
Yeah, I have those kids.
And I tell you what, I was one of those kids. So I got to admit, okay, I'm guilty, but
Yeah.
it's like, let's see what's next. Let's see what's at this level. See at this floor. Let's see what's at this floor until you're climbing your way to the top. But, so ignite and elevate your life. So I'm
Mhm.
going to have them contact you because I'd love for you to take this project on because it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge.
You got
So
it, Tom. If you're in on
thank
it,
you.
if it's something you suggest, I'm totally in. I do what you do because I so respect you and admire you. So thank you. I appreciate you so much. I just want to say to all your listeners, go out and ignite your life. Step into something new. Try something different. Ignite moments are always there. And so you have the ability to bend reality for your future and create the most amazing ignite moment in your life to fulfill your dreams. Thanks, Tom.
Well, thank you so much. And it's been a pleasure having you in my life as well, and you opened up the door possibilities. But, one thing that I did, and I wanted to share with you that is, ignite not only the moment in my life, but ignite the moment in my wife's life,
Mm.
in my grandson's life, my daughter's lives, ignite my client's life, ignite that moment for others, because that's what you're doing and that's what we need to do. So I have ignite moments, but I thought the other day, I really need to more focus on how to ignite somebody else,
Oh.
how to light it up. I mean, when you ignite that flame inside of them, you're going to watch it burn. And there's one guy that said, set yourself on fire and the world will show up to watch you burn.
Yes,
Yeah,
Billy
because you
Ellsbrook.
are on fire. So anyway, thank you very much for being on the show. This is TomChesser, your host on Business Innovators Radio, Business Innovators Network, Business Innovators Magazine, and Rise Up Radio. And I'm really excited. I look forward to having you again. Can we set up another time to where we can ignite something else?
Anytime you like, I'm here.
Thank you, JB. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And we're signing off for now and saying thank you for being here today. We've enjoyed you. Ignite.
Blessings, everyone. Take care.
Bye-bye.